Hello everyone, it's Penelope. I don't know how long we have before Puppy gets up and disrupts me. So I'm going to try to do this as fast as I can, and this is about proteins. I really had some ranting to do, but I'm going to sit down and really fine line my rant for another video. But anywho, I wanted to do one about proteins. Protein is so very important from A to Z. I I broke it down into five: meats, beans, nuts and grains, fats, and miscellaneous, and meal preps. And what I mean by meal preps is like your hearty soups and chilies and things like that. And we'll go through that. Okay, canned meat. There are so many different kinds of canned meats from A to Z, and then you have all of the fishes like salmon, mackerel. Um, well, here's a canned ham. Here's some spam. Here is some tuna in a pouch, which are great for your bug out bags. Here is some real bacon bits. I think that also is very good to have. It is shelf stable, and you can put that right in your bags. You can add it to whatever you want to give a little flavor. I love smoked oysters, and I'm going to tell you a little recipe with smoked oysters. Is if you have some stuffing mix, for example, and you put the oil into the stuffing mix, and you make it according to direction with whatever else you add, and then you cut these up and put these in there, you will have the most amazing oyster dressing that you could ever have. You can also make them if you have an egg and then you want to add a little more flour for some binding. You could make oyster cakes with stuffing, and how good that is if you like oyster stuffing. My husband's family makes an oyster dressing every year for his grandfather, and every year that is the dressing that I eat. I think there's only 2 or 3 of us that will actually eat into that one pan that they make every year in honor of his grandfather, and I absolutely do eat it, and I love it. So oyster dressing or oyster cakes, what a great thing to get creative with when you have smoked oysters in your pantry. Okay, so with meat, it's pretty cut and dry. You also have pemmican and jerky and all the shelf-stable meats like pepperoni, salami. I believe there are some summer sausages that are somewhat shelf-stable. So those are also things, that you can find in my meat section that I have decided. Okay, so with meat comes this thing as how much do I need of meat? First of all, I can tell you that we eat a lot more meat than we need. We can get protein in other ways. I'm going to go ahead and skip down to number 4, which is the meal preps, which is your soup, stews, and your pasta beef deals, your canned pouches, and you can find these things in pouches as well. I don't have them on hand. Like Hormel chili or wolf chili or chili chili. Here's a savory pot roast chunky style soup. It has the beef, potatoes, and vegetable as a meal. And then, of course, raviolis, the overstuffed meat ones, Dinty Moore beef stew. There's so many other products that you can get that has a lot of meat, protein, and a few other extras in it that is right there. You don't have to worry with it. Okay, so number 1, I do all the canned meats, fishes, oysters, and all of that. Number 2, I do beans. Now, beans and legumes, I really, really think that is like more important than the meat itself. Dried beans are great to keep. If you store them correctly, you can keep them pretty much forever. I'm just saying. Canned, dried, just wonderful things. Right now out here I have some kidney beans that I just got so I can stock up on some kidney beans. I have some dried lima beans out here and some dried kidney beans. So you have your dried beans. Lentils are a lot of times overlooked because lentils are really, really good, and they're so small that you can do other things with them, and you can slide them into foods. And just saying. think about lentils as part of your dried bean and legume. Um, yeah, stockpile. Pantry. Okay, something else is beans come in jars. These jars will last a long time, and this should kind of make you think, oh, okay, wait a minute. So what I can do is take my dried beans and I can can them. Absolutely, you can. I personally don't do that because I like the fact that my dried beans take less space. So space is a factor for me. I bought 2 of these the other day because, yeah, I was lazy. But cans are good. And something else you might want to consider is with like your chili beans or your pork and beans or beans and tomato sauce, however it's on the can. That gives you a little extra flavor with that broth. Something else with beans and canned meats and canned vegetables and fruits as well is you want to utilize that liquid in that can. That is not to be wasted. Same way with your chicken or your meats, but also your fishes. You want to keep that broth because you can use that for something else, even though you may not particularly care for it. You can put that in the water as you're cooking and make some fishy rice or fishy pasta, whatever you prefer. I wouldn't use them in mashed potatoes because that would really make me sick. But you can use all of the liquids out of these cans as a gravy or a sauce or even just the moisture to cook it in. So never ever, if you're in a SHTF situation, don't pour your juice out, use it. That's something else I want to talk about as well before we go on to nuts and grains. Skills that I think are important with this part of prepping would be how to can your own meat, how to can your own beans, and of course fruits, vegetables, things like that. But protein is probably the hardest thing that I find in my preps. You either get canned this or jarred that or dehydrated this or something in with that. And the reason I think it's so important to can your own meat is because you have just the chicken and you know what's in it, just the beef and you know what's in it. It's your flavor, it's what you like. You can can any kind of meat. I have a space issue, so I'm not going to take up cans or jars of beans, but I will put up jars of meat. I'm not going to put up jars of canned fish that I put up, but I will put it on my shelf when I buy it. So, learning ways to utilize your meat as well. How can I make recipes where I can use my preps as a whole and make really good wholesome meals with lots of protein and the vitamins and the minerals and everything that we need. So let's move on. Okay, nuts and grains. I put these together because they kind of go together because some of the products that you find have nuts and grains in them. For example, granola bars. Granola bars has oatmeal. It has nuts sometimes. It has a lot of the things that you're wanting. So with nuts and grains, I have my oatmeal. I have all my hot cereals. My rice as well has protein in it, so there would be a protein. Quinoa, I don't know how to say it. But I have these. These are the multi-grain hot cereals. They have flax, oats, barley, wheat, quinoa, and rye. I know that's not right. I'm having a really hard time with this. Okay, so, and then we also have oatmeal. And like these packages would be perfect for your bug out bags, your get home bags. But you can buy this stuff in bulk. I buy a lot of oatmeal in bulk. It's in buckets and in totes. So I have lots of oatmeal. But I also have a lot of these little flavored ones because that's what my husband likes. So anyway, oatmeals, granola bars, nuts. Here's some representative is some almonds. I don't even know if these are open yet. No, they're not. Okay, these are the toasted coconut almonds. The one thing about nuts and seeds is you really have to watch them going rancid. So as long as you rotate your stuff out, you should be good. I always have sesame seeds around the house because I get them fairly cheap when they're on sale with a digital coupon, and I use them on my salads. It gives my salad a little better crunch, a little oaty kind of flavor, and I just love it. Okay, something else with this would be our peanut butter. Peanut butter is probably one of the most super foods you can have in an SHTF stuff. You have sugars, corn syrups, you have peanuts, you have protein, you have everything you need right in here. Just saying. Some people like Nutella. I think it is absolutely disgusting, but I do keep it in my preps. Who knows? In a bad situation, I might find Nutella really, really good. Okay, so we have our oatmeal, our peanut butter, granola bars, seeds, nuts, all of that kind of stuff. And then we're going to go to our fats and our miscellaneous. That's number 5. And I really thought this was interesting. I went ahead and got this large box of crusty cornbread mix. I really like this kind of stuff. I used one of them that I got on sale, and I really liked it. Normally I make my own from scratch, but I really like this, so I went ahead and got that. It was a pretty good price. And I got another huge 10-pound bag of the Krusteaz Buttermilk pancake mix. This has protein in it. If you were in an SHTF situation, you had your water, you had meat, I would say if you didn't have one of these in your stockpile, what in the world's wrong with you? All you do is add water to it. This is absolutely the best prep ever. I don't even know how many of these I have in my preps. I don't know. So this is my recommendation. I really don't try to get on the long-term food bandwagon. However, I do plan on starting some specifics in my pantry, my prepper pantry. I am going to say that if I were to tell someone to invest in number 10 cans, I would go for your proteins and fats. Those are the things that you need to have in longer term. A lot of people say, well, you need this and that. I'm telling you, this is what I would do. I would start with all of the meats. Whenever I had an extra amount of money, I would buy another meat. I would buy milk, butter, eggs, peanut butter powder, and probably broccoli, because broccoli is a really good source of protein as well. And Brussels sprouts are too, but I've never seen them in a number 10 can. I could be wrong. Okay, so if I were to tell someone to buy long-term food from a long-term food company in number 10 cans, this is what I would recommend. Proteins and fats. That's what I would do. Okay. With that being said, I think I'm good. I need to have a little more coffee because I'm going to tell you something. I had to go early. Went to Rural King, found my tomato cages, got 20 pounds of sugar. I got some other stuff too, but I don't remember what it was. I don't remember. I really don't. And I also went to Walmart. Oh my. I got a 3-pound roll of ground beef, which was absolutely outrageous. The 2-pound bag of cheese wasn't too bad. I got 2 discounted loaves of bread. Trying to think, did I find anything? Oh, that's where I got my cornbread mix, my Krusteaz buttermilk. I also got 2 more of the big things of beef and chicken broth. I got some instant coffee. I got these smoked oysters there. I got 2 packs of those. The dried beans, I got those there. And yeah. Anyway, when you're packing for your bug out bags, just remember there's all kinds of little products that you can find to shove in there. Single spams, tuna in pouches, real bacon bits, some oysters. This is really a light kind of thing. And you know something with these smoked oysters is I like them with an extra sharp cheddar cheese and a good cracker. So good. You all have a great day. Hugs from a distance. And just remember, when you're starting to prep and you're looking for the protein section of your pantry, okay, you really want to focus on that protein section. Look at cans, look at product labels, because you're going to find out a lot of things have protein or fats in them that you're going to need. Y'all have a great day. Bye, y'all.